So in this video, we're going to look at how we can use collectibles inside of a scene in a more modular sense. In the past, we've had collectibles, but in this case, we're going to look inside of this level called blocks. And we built things that are a little bit more modular in constructing it. So the first thing to do is look at the collectibles that exist inside of the scene. And in this one, we have a coin. And if you go over that, you basically pick up the coin mesh. So I'm going to hop in real quick, and you'll notice in the top left, there is a coin along with a time, and if I go, let's look at them, they're rotating, and if I move over them, you can see that they are collected. So what we want to do is we want to create a collectible just like this. So I'm going to come over here where it's a little bit more out in the open, and then I'm going to go on the left and click the plus icon to open up the add components. Now in the past you would go into the asset browser, but now we've made this extremely modular to where you can kind of just build it from scratch. So I'm going to search with the magnifying glass and click collectible, and I'm going to find the collectible sensor. The health collectible sensor we'll do in another video showcasing damage, but for this case we want to strictly select collectible sensor. Having that selected, you'll see that we have a red box in the scene, a little bit like the other coins. And if I go down into the properties here, you'll see that we have a collectible, and there are two entries inside of it. You have the sound and you have the mesh. Let's start out with the most obvious, which is basically the mesh, and I'm going to search inside of this for a coin, and you'll see that we have the coin, and I'm going to click that, and now we have the coin that just basically recreates what we had in the past. Now we're going to take this one step further, where inside of the mesh it doesn't actually rotate. It would just stay exactly as it is right now, and we want to make it like what we just saw before. So I'm going to go ahead and click in the plus icon in the top of the inspector. I'm going to type in rotate, or rotate stopping before the eye, and I'm going to have the rotating movement. We can already see the axis is set up on the X, Y, and Z. The last one is 1 meter, which means it will actually spin normally. And what we want to do is probably up the velocity a little bit so we can actually see this move around. Alright, so let's click back in the inspector, and the last thing that we need to really do is we need to add a collectible sound. Now we have some that are preloaded inside of each one of these scenes. We're going to go ahead and choose pick up default 1, and then I'm going to close this, and let's go and see what it looks like inside of the scene. So you can see our coin is right there. We have 0 in the coins in the top left there. So if I go over the top of it, it will give me the noise if I had the audio up, and then you also see it's tallied in the top left to be collected. So that's kind of a quick breakdown. You can use any type of mesh. You can have a chair, you can have whatever it is that should be collected, and then that would be inside of the HUD added each time that you ran over each one of these objects. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Look for the other ones that come with this launch, because we've got really modular components just like this that we're trying to give more accessibility to designers to create the games that they really want.